Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I wanted to share with you with this node tree that I made using SphereChalk add-on in Blender. Basically, this was inspired by YouTube video by Cedric. Cedric is he's also known as PITIWAZOU, and he made this kind of like a procedural modifier based bolt nut. I don't know what to call it. I just call it bolt nut. But I like how he made this shape, and this is supposed to be something that's kind of like it's already like a fixed problem, but it's kind of interesting because you can kind of make this using modifier. So I decided to do similar thing using nodes and also a little bit of modifier. Of course, I'm using Boolean. So let's have a look at how this was done. So I really like, I think at this point we probably should already have a way to generate something like this in Blender. I'm pretty sure on that. But at some point I have to, I think, recreate all this using SphereChalk. But anyhow, let's see how I did this. Basically, I started with this object up here. Okay, here's the top object, and this is the original shape. You can't really see it. How is the best way to show this? Basically, we have this beta and gamma. They're like Boolean. They're kind of hidden, and they're cutting into this guy right here. This one is a cylinder X. Oh, this one might be the one that's cutting the center part. Okay, that's just another piece of this bolt. The way I design it, so this is not the main part. This is just another extra part. The original part will be this guy right here, which is a ring. So this is a ring that I solidify, and so I can create some kind of thickness. And this ring is six-sided, so it's hexagonal. So I can still change the number. Normally for nut bolts you have 6 sides. And yeah, this ring got I can subdivide it. So if I turn on the wireframe, it's probably a little bit clearer. Maybe I should hide all this extra part. They are basically the Boolean parts that's gonna make up this bolt. So there's this thickness that I can adjust. But if I'm adjusting the thickness, I should also adjust the Boolean cutter. So I have to keep that in mind in order to get this nice curvy edges. Alright, so there's this extra number of cut that I did, so to make everything clean, I think. So there's a lot of attributes that I kind of still need to work on it. This is the extra bevel, but okay, this is the main part. I should probably give it a name. Main part. And this guy got cut by this Boolean. So these guys are really just like a cylinder, and the cylinder that kind of cutting on the edge like that, like in an angle, so you get a kind of like a nice curve area to make a bolt. I know my one is not as perfect as the one done by Cedric, but this one can be improved, I'm sure. And it is possible to create this by not using Boolean, but I like Boolean because it's fast and interactive. You can really recreate the whole thing just using the nodes without any modifier. But modifier is kind of making it easier, and it's also making it a lot robust, I think. So this beta and gamma, they're just like the mirror. They are the same objects, just being mirrored by this mirror and the plane, and then the flip normal. I have to do that. What else we have here? Oh, okay, I have control over the position of this cutter. So I have that. That's pretty cool. We don't need to worry about all this. The one that's important is perhaps the thickness and also this angle. If you angle it just right, you're gonna get the perfect perfect looking bolt. So yeah, I found this kind of workflow to be really interesting. I really like Cedric one, but of course with sphere chop, something like sphere chop with nodes, you can kind of think of it like you work with nodes and then you give an output, and here you can work with a stack of modifier, and you can always bring it back to the node and then work it like this. Like a node is like horizontal, and then modifier is kind of like vertical. So I like to work like this, so you can kind of continue, and everything can be live and procedural because nodes can enable you to create like a cylinder, a ring, all kind of shapes like sphere, like all the primitives, and everything is still alive. And same thing with modifier. Modifier also missing something like remove doubles. It doesn't have remove double or weld. You know, it needs something like that in order to make everything clean. And SphereChop actually have a lot of operations built in that's actually using Blender's own operations. So it's kind of interesting if we can kind of communicate between the nodes and modifier. So hence we have something like this bolt. I know this bolt is not 100% perfect, but still it's interesting. And I have a couple of different variations of the nuts. This one also similar. This is, I think, my first effort to copy what Cedric is doing. So yeah, basically the same thing. We start with I got a ring. The ring can generate the outer. We can control the outer part, inner part, and then we have the cutter, which is basically like this diamond kind of shape made using cylinder. So yeah, I guess this is kind of like a work in progress, but I'll share with you this node tree anyway. Maybe you can improve it in order to get this kind of result. All right, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.